So I'm in my makeshift studio, which is actually a garage. You can see the surfboards over here. But I'm going to go through one of my sketchbooks from July 2023. And I feel like you could take 100 photos for like one drawing in your sketchbook. And those 100 photos, you wouldn't look at them in as much depth. So I can't really remember what's in this sketchbook because it's now August 2026. So pretty much exactly 3 years ago, I started the sketchbook, and it'd be interesting to see where we get to, and if we actually, sometimes these sketchbooks take me a couple of years, so let's go through it. And yeah, I like to always do this, I feel like that's the graphic designer in me, is to brand it initially, like straight away. Okay. Yeah, so this one is when I started doing my Stupabank Instagram account, and I was trying to create artwork for it. And here I used it was a colored pencil, I think, but it's very pastel-y and waxy. What else have I got here? It's not normal that I would draw like, okay, so this is actually golden acrylics fluoro line. So generally if this comes in contact with UV light, I feel like it's only got like a 2-year lifespan, but it's been hidden away. So there's like an illustration of Kira Wave, a couple of boards. I own a board like this, Mini Simmons. I own a fish like that as well. And then some sort of single fin mid-length thing. So I draw a lot of surfboards, a lot of waves. This is me trying out some watercolors, and it's actually pretty sure, looking from that, it looks like it's a grey gouache, like a Payne's grey. And one of my favorite colors, actually, Payne's grey. Oh, look at that, it's pretty much the exact same wave, but I redrew it. And I feel like I didn't have as much time to draw that one, but it was using a brush like this. Okay, so this is Riccarton Rights, which is at the bottom of South Island in New Zealand. So I drew this artwork out, and a lot of my art really does look like this at the moment. Everything I do at the moment isn't as soft and pasteled and watercolor painterly as that, but I was trying to draw how waves would look from that angle, and I feel like I'm good at drawing them straight on like this. I'm okay at drawing them on an angle where they're passing me, and then this angle where they're going away, it wouldn't look like that at all. And look at that, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, here's like one of my Yowie characters. Yowie's actually Bigfoot, and this is a guy going out through the surf and guys hitching a ride on him. And where was this? Oh yeah, this was out the back of my garden. I sat at the ranch slider at the back of my house, and I painted, that's the fence. This is a jasmine plant that smelled epic. And then this was, I don't know what that, it was like some orange things that used to grow there. This is my brother-in-law's house in Australia. So that's the pergola. There is the Nissan Pathfinder. These are the backs of seats. You can see the armrests. Over here is concrete steps that go up. Super beautiful tropical. That's where they park the trailer. That's the garage side of the house. That, I'm like, whoa, what a mess. I feel like it lacks the contrast that it probably needs to. It doesn't define anything. There's a little bit of white space here. This too, so this is my garden out the back of my house, and here's a plant pot that we actually broke that plant pot. Well, I didn't, someone else did when we were moving house, and yeah, they were really annoyed with us over it, but it was like a total accident, so I felt really bad about it. We had to pay for it. Oh, here we go, is my wetsuit hanging up. Maybe not mine because it's got pink on it, which makes me think it was my daughter's wetsuit. A bit of typography, just in reference to this, because I love my typography. Oh, the same wave drawn 3 times. So here you go. Whoosh. It's a little bit steeper and steeper again, so the angle comes across. It's got the sun. I like this. I should do this again. Another wave, pumping epic high tide Kira barrel from memory. This is a wave where I actually paddled out and I would have been like this big, and I saw the first one break, and then the second one came and sucked up all the sand, and I was like, there's no way I'm taking off on that. Here's another one of these vertical ones. Wow, that's very moody, isn't it? It's a giant bleeding orange sun, and I remember buying this orange gouache, the Winsor Newton, and then feeling like anytime I've ever used it, it just is too earthy looking for me. It's just not like a saturated orange. Oh yeah, here we go. What's this? That is a spot called Maharangi Island, which is in Waiwera in New Zealand. And this is actually like the sand through here and the water of the creek, which is pretty cool. You can walk out here at low tide, and at high tide it would take you like half an hour to swim there. And then I guess I was obviously drawing my coffee for the day. That reminds me of that brain from, what do you call it? Ninja Turtles. The brain that's like in a glass thing. There's my coffee grinder, my AeroPress, my cup. Pretty sure I have that cup still. Yeah, and then this is the coffee. I was, whose coffee was it? I feel like it was Flight Coffee. Always put this typography on. This is one of my most favorite pens ever, which is, whoops, got another one. This one. It's a little brush pen. Watch. So good. What else we got here? Oh, yep. There's that same painting of Waiwera from a different angle. Made it extra shaggy. That's pretty rad. I quite like that. This is the sand, and you can see I was trying to use complementary colors. So, 25% off. Here you go. I've used these for years. I feel like they're so rad because it's like the colors we got here. We got like a blue green, and then a complementary color over here. For some reason, I made it pinky kind of magenta, and I wonder why. Maybe I thought that looked good at the time. What else have we got? So, all these are pretty sick. These I spent a bit of time on. So I painted these purely in gouache with brushes, and I haven't got my brushes out here at the moment. I've got them all packed away in brush rolls, which I guess is good. And then all of this, I used one of these super fine liners. I feel like I didn't even have it anymore. It was, they're all brush pens. It's a fine liner like this. It was probably that one. So these ones are, they got like an Indian ink in them. So they're waterproof. And it was good because I was able to draw with it, and it wasn't like picking up the paint. Whereas with a water-based pen it could. And then I started drawing out riveting as well. Yeah, I feel like I didn't really finish that one. Like I was supposed to maybe put the waves through here and some place names on. But quite cool. What else we got here? Oh, yep. So that is, man, looking at that, where is that? I feel like that's Oriel Bar. Sometimes I surf through here, a spot called Pancakes, and that's the mouth of the estuary, and then Red Beach, and then Stamble Bay. Very compressed, like as if I shot that on like a 300mm lens. One of my most favorite prints. So I was just repainting that to do, because I ran out of all 50. Yeah, this is my garden again. Man, I did a lot of drawing in vertical. I must have been really into that. So what date is this? 30th of September, 24. So here we go. Got my drain, split in the concrete. These look like coffee beans, but they're actually leaves that fell from up here. There's that orange plant I talked about again. And yeah, retaining wall It was quite good. Oh, what's this one? I feel like I saw this one in like an interiors magazine or architectural magazine where they were showing off this house, and I liked the fact that it was so it just looked so epic and isolated and like the best place to go on holiday. I drew a picture of my stupid face that looked like John Lennon, and it made me realize I needed a haircut. See, I've got a haircut since then. Fence at the back of my house, the garden at 17 Greenview Lane. This was actually where I lived a few years ago in New Zealand, so now I live in the Gold Coast in Australia. So as we go through these sketchbooks, I feel like they're going to change a bit because I went to some new places. Oh, look at this. My kids, when they went to the new school in Australia, they got swimming second and third place because they were good swimmers at a brand new school. That's pretty epic. Painted an old New Zealand stamp, and it really didn't go how I wanted it to. Oh, I painted upside down here. Another wave. And, oh, okay. I know what this is. So this is me packing to move. So I just remember feeling this big with that much going on, and it is crazy. I've got a journal from around about this time, which I went through this morning. Crazy, picked it up. ChatGPT when I worked it out, because I don't use my brain anymore. I use ChatGPT's brain to work out maths equations, but 625 days since I last wrote in a journal. And I thought I'd write and do a life update, and it was all very stressful reading it. It was kind of hard to read it. Anyway, washing machine, shelf, box full of crap, boxes, on top of a table. Man, I wondered what happened to that table. Boxes and boxes, surfboards, printer's over here right now, surfboards are behind me over there. So yeah, so it was quite a full-on move, this one, moving countries, 3 kids, going to a new school, new job for my wife. So the emotions I have felt this week, man, this is very vulnerable. I wish I didn't open this sketchbook. Man, look at me. So I was happy, I was concerned, I was really concerned, I was shocked, I was happy. That must have been 2 a.m. for sure. That, obviously getting some sort of news, happy, sad. I can tell here maybe there was a few knockoffs and I'd had a beer and I was feeling a bit like this. And then the next day I was like this again. And then a bit like that. So, yeah, look at that. So here's me praying to the Lord, please help us, Lord, and that God would go with my footsteps. Okay, so I guess this is me painting a bunch of my stuff. I don't know, I was moving house. I must have been really stressed to be doing all of this painting. My pen roll, which I actually just emptied this week and put a whole bunch of pens into. Straw brush roll, that's where the brushes still are. Got some Kavecos, some pencil sharpeners, some brushes, another pen roll, because they were cheap. I got them from Gordon Harris, the art shop. This was $38 for the Hanamula, so I bought another one of these, which is pretty good. It's like a 300 GSM, I think it is. So I bought that for $20.25, and this week had its ups and downs. We finished school this week. It's all very emotional, but necessary to the process. We're learning to let go. Look at this. This is God's hand over me doing the hard things. Do you know I printed on my label maker, got my label maker a couple of years ago in this same season, and I printed out, do the hard things. And I stuck it on my laptop at the top above the keyboard, and that was one of the things that got me through that whole season, is every time something was hard just to do it. And I'd like to go back to that, because you go places and do epic things when you apply yourself. This one I feel is pretty emotional. It's such a, I don't know, more complementary colours, which is cool. This is a grass soccer field. That's my daughter swinging on the pole. At the time she was 5 or 6. This is my son with his hat on, his bare feet. New Zealand summer, there's no snakes in the grass. It's such a, I don't know, such a happy moment. And my son was obsessed with soccer at the time, and he plays other sports, plays rugby now. But this was a view from my wife's classroom overlooking the field while we were trying to pack her class up before moving to Australia. And so all of these things were very hard to let go of, and I didn't want to paint this, but I did it anyway because I knew that I'd look back and be grateful for it. So that was Saturday, the 14th of December, 2024. Oh, okay. I'm going to be in trouble for this one. Dad's view of Roman doing a forwards flip off the Orewa Wharf. Sunday, the 16th of December. So, 2024. So, we're coming to Christmas. I jumped in the water. Here's the steps that go back up. And that's my son doing a forwards flip. And my daughter up there not wanting to jump off. But we did, around here, there is a bridge. There's this, like, not a motorway bridge, but a bridge that goes over the creek or the estuary, and killer whales occasionally come up through here with their pups and they eat stingrays. And this was just up the road from our house. Actually, just before we left, a guy was screaming for help on the other side of the estuary, and I had fins because we'd been swimming with the kids, and I put my fins back on and jumped in and swam and rescued him and swam him back to shore. Ends up he just had knee surgery and his knee cramped up in the water, and he said he just started to drown. And it was pretty cool because he said to my kids, "Your dad is a hero." I felt like such a legend. Anyway, this is my youngest daughter, Sailor, with me under the bridge as we swam under. Top secret. This was actually a drawing from the Elf, the Elf yourself guy. And my daughter, when she saw it, she said, "Dad, that's weird. Those splatters look like what you do on your artwork." All right, so here we go. Wave surfing symbols. I'd obviously been surfing and watching surfing because I just drew a whole bunch of surf stuff. Man, it's all pretty cool. This is me with the kids. And yesterday the kids went swimming in the Orewa estuary with snorkels, and this is what they saw. I feel like that was me under the water looking back up at them on the inflatable mat with their faces sticking through, because Roman was wearing this one. Oh, this is what we saw. That's right. We saw a road cone, a PVC pipe, beer bottles, multiple beer cans, clamshells, dead crabs, bits of wood, fish, skeletons, and pippies, which are shellfish. What else have we got here? One of the things I like to do when I'm warming up is just to draw the alphabet. And then, here we go. Now, where is that? I don't know where it is, but it's probably up Whangaparoa somewhere, which is a place in New Zealand. This is a tui, and native New Zealand bird. And that island is called Rangitoto, which is a volcano that I grew up with. And it's one of the most graphic images in my head is this shape and outline of Rangitoto. Packed down the printer, got the kids some Kentucky Fried Chicken. This is yesterday, by the way. Yesterday is Saturday, the 4th of Jan, 2025. Took Roman, my son, to the National Mini Storage where they've got the yellow doors to drop crap off. See, I still had long hair and I still wore a hat every day. Went down friend's gravel drive, which was so steep in my car and it was near impossible to get back up. Me and Roman got matching mushroom gibbets for our Crocs and emptied the whole house ready for the cleaners. Man, that was a big feat. And we stayed at this friend's house that they went away, and they had this beautiful outlook from their house. That was their garden from their deck, and this was the Puhoi River. And this is another version of it because there's a scooter line there on the grass, the Puhoi River, and then another one without any outlines. I feel like the first one I did was the best. Oh yeah, that was just the colours in my colour palette. So me writing down some prayers, gouache, 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 painting out my gouache swatch. Man, those blues are good. Flip, those two are good. Yeah. Gotta look out the gouache paints again. And oh look, the back page. I decided to paint the alphabet again. So yeah, that's going through a sketchbook from 2023, 2024. Pretty pivotal time for me, and I can tell that while I was doing the sketchbooks, I was actually going through a very stressful season of my life, moving countries, but it was an exciting, stressful season, and amazing how a stressful season can make way for so much new work. And there's so much work in there and styles that I tried that I look back and I'm like, man, I didn't even know I did those or could do those. So pretty cool to see. So anyway, hope you like this, and plenty more of these videos where they came from, because there's plenty more sketchbooks here in this garage. So